PostFrame Manager Menu System Overview. In this instructional video, we'll focus on giving you an overview of the PostFrame Manager takeoff and estimating menu system. This includes the navigation and primary attributes menus. For more information on the navigation menu, refer to the Accessing the Navigation Menu instructional video. When you click on the PostFrame Manager icon on your desktop, click either the Create New Building Project button, or if you have already created a building, click on Open an Existing Building Project and select the file you want to work with. After you have drawn any building, place your cursor within the building perimeter and click. That brings up the navigation menu. There are a number of things to note here, but we're going to focus on the primary attributes menu, where you will choose the settings that dictate precisely how your building will be erected. To get there, click on Edit Building Wing Attributes from the navigation menu. This brings up the primary attributes screen. Now, at your fingertips are options that control virtually every aspect of each building you create with PostFrame Manager. Notice that there are three sections to this menu: the Frequently Adjusted Tasks menu, the Main Attributes and Tasks menu, and the Systems Tools menu. We'll discuss each one of these individually. Before we do so, take a look at the menu structure. The first thing you will notice is that most menu items are preceded with a plus sign. This is a typical Windows control and simply means that there are additional sub-menu choices associated with this item. When you click on the plus sign, those sub-menu items will appear. The first thing I want to stress is the importance of your exploring these menu items in depth. There is absolutely no substitute for your gaining an understanding of the functionality of each item than by viewing and investigating each one yourself. When you do, you will see that a graphic, as well as information and/or instructions pertaining to each item, is presented in the window to the right. This information is very important, and you need to become familiar with it. We suggest that you work from the top to the bottom of this menu. As the name suggests, the Frequently Adjusted Task menu controls those choices you will make for virtually every building you create. So it is this section of the primary attributes screen that you will visit most often. We won't go through every line item, as you can do that for yourself. Just click on an item like roofing material. As mentioned, a graphic showing exactly what we're talking about appears on screen. This is obviously a very simple and obvious example, but what it means is that virtually anyone with very little training can operate the PostFrame Manager system. You will just make your selection from the options shown below the graphic. Every other menu item works the same way. Let's select another one to demonstrate this a bit further. Say post spacing. When you click the plus sign, you will notice menu listings for each wall. That's because PostFrame Manager gives you wall-by-wall control, a very powerful feature that is exclusive to PostFrame Manager. Now click the plus in front of any wall. Then click the menu item that appears to reveal the pertinent graphic and information you are being asked. In this case, it is what post spacing do you want to use. Just make your selection from the drop-down options shown. Before moving on, note the two checkboxes at the bottom of the screen. The first is labeled Apply this value to all walls. If you check that box before clicking the Accept button on the right, the choice you made for this wall will be applied to all others automatically. That's often a real time saver, as you won't have to make the same selection over and over again for each wall. Obviously, if you want different post spacings for an eave wall versus a gable wall, you won't be checking this box. The other checkbox is labeled These settings are saved as default values. This is another time saver and a checkbox you will see at the bottom of every menu option screen. When you make a selection, if your choice is the way you do virtually every building, check this box before clicking the Accept button on the same screen. Now you don't have to visit this screen and make that selection again every time you create a new building. In the case where you need to make a change from a default setting for a specific circumstance, go ahead and make that change and click the Accept button after doing so. Just don't save the new value as a default, so your usual choice remains fixed. The Save as Default checkbox becomes more important when you explore the second section of the primary attribute screen labeled Main Attributes and Tasks. The items listed in this section are primarily Set and Forget settings. That's because most PostFrame Manager users will set their preferences and rarely change them. To illustrate this, we'll take a look at the Post and Columns menu. Click the plus in front of this listing, and you again see that each wall is listed separately. As before, 1. Click on each item. 2. Review the information shown in the window to the right. 3. Make your selection. 4. Determine whether this selection is going to apply to all walls. 5. Whether this choice will be your default selection. And 6. Then click Accept to record your choice. Note that in this case, there is one more submenu listing shown. It's labeled All Walls. Go through each item shown in this section. The choices will be obvious as you proceed through the list, and all of the options shown in this listing are important. So again, it is vitally important that you spend time getting familiar with the primary attributes menu items. PostFrame Manager will perform as you expect and create building estimates reflecting your construction preferences only if you have made the appropriate selections on this screen. Finally, the third section of the primary attributes screen is labeled System Tools. There is just one listing under this section, System Tools and Editors. Click the plus symbol and the only choice available, Tools menu, is shown. Click on that menu item and the PostFrame Manager Systems Tools menu appears. The options shown on this screen are covered in multiple other instructional videos. Spending the time getting familiar with the primary attributes screen will pay dividends down the road, so we urge you to do so. This ends the PostFrame Manager Menu System Overview instructional video.